The NASCAR Xfinity Series heads in New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we see one of the wildest Xfinity Series races I've ever seen at New Hampshire. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Xfinity Series race from New Hampshire Speedway, the Crayon 200. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. So, before the green flag dropped in today's race, Josh Berry actually was supposed to originally start on the pole, won the pole from the race. He had to basically drop to the rear of the field due to unapproved adjustments. A couple other drivers who dropped the rear, including Jeremy Clements, Akiner Ogata, Alex Abay, Howie DeSavino III, and Joe Graf Jr., and David Starr and J.G. all had to drop to the rear of the field. Because of this, Daniel Hemrick, who qualified second, would get to start the race on the front row with Justin Allgaier on the inside. Daniel Hemrick was able to clear for the lead at the start and got a really strong run. Then Ty Gibbs had a better car than Daniel Hemrick and tried to get around him for the race lead, but Ty Gibbs basically went up the racetrack in turn number 3 and forced him wide, and Trevor Bayne got to the race lead. Then they started Trevor Bayne and Ty Gibbs started battle for the lead because Ty Gibbs' car was much stronger than Trevor Bayne's, and Ty Gibbs eventually got around Trevor Bayne for the race lead. The first caution race to come out on lap 35 for Julie Lander, who basically was up on the outside and Justin Allgaier was on the inside. Justin Allgaier would come up into the racetrack, basically was a little bit squirrely, and he would go up into the racetrack and get into Julie Lander. That was on Justin Allgaier. He basically said apologized to the 45 team for the incident after the race today. But basically, Julie Lander's race kind of went from fruition. It's a shame because it was her NASCAR Xfinity Series debut, but this would not be the last time she'd be involved in an incident in this race. It's a shame for Julie because she was having a decent run, running in around 30th position, and it's a shame what happened to her, but it is what it is. Because of this, we had a little bit of strategy in this race near the end of Stage 1. Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Brandon Brown, Maya Sider, Jeremy Clements, Bailey Curry, Mason Massey, J.G. Lee, and Joe Graf Jr. all stay out, while the rest leaders decided to stay on come down pit road. William Byron had some issues getting off pit road after Sheldon Creed had to back up his car, and basically he had nowhere to go. And then on the restart, Ryan Sieg lead the field from the outside with Brandon Brown on the inside, and Ryan Sieg got the race lead. Ty Gibbs tried to close up near the end of stage number 1, but Ryan Sieg will hold off a hard-charging Ty Gibbs to win stage number 1 here in New Hampshire. Meanwhile, on the last lap of the race, Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemrick made some contact in turn number 3, and Daniel Hemrick went up the track. Noah Gragson basically blamed the issue on a wheel hop getting into the corner on a last lap of stage 1. Then at the end of the stage, all the cars that stayed out to get stage points, they will all come down the road, and the guys that came down the road, they would get to the race lead. So on the restart, Ty Gibbs lead the field from the outside with A.J. Allmendinger on the inside. And Ty Gibbs was able to clear for the race lead on the restart, and then William Byron got up to second. As the run went on, I started to notice that William Byron was really catching Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs then eventually started complaining his brakes were starting to shake and were having some major problems. And William Byron got around Ty Gibbs for the race lead on lap 82. Then he reported those issues. And then Ty Gibbs basically started calling in the clutches. I believe Landon Cass was running second at the time. And then at the end of stage 2, William Byron would win it. But on the last lap of stage 2, Daniel Hemrick would get into the back of Noah Gragson from 6th position. A little bit of retaliation after what happened. Basically out of frustration after what happened to Road America. And also what happened here in New Hampshire. And basically Noah Gragson would lose stage points. And of course he would dare. And William Byron would also win the stage. And we saw a little bit of basically some issues for Ty Gibbs, who basically reported a mechanical issue on the car and would go multiple laps down to fix the shims from the A-arm on the side of the car, and basically would go 4 laps down out of the contention. So on the restart, you have William Byron lead the field from the outside with Landon Castle on the inside. William Byron would get the race lead, but as they're going into turn number 1, Julie Lander would basically go way too deep into turn number 1 and collect Matt Mills, bringing out the caution. She just drove it way too far into the corner, and unlike the situation with Justin Allgaier, this was on her. She brought the caution out and ended her day. And then we went back green at lap 104 with William Byron lead the field on the inside with Landon Castle on the inside. William Byron would get the lead going into turn number 1. However, William Byron would have a flat tire and would go wide in turn 1 and find out that he had a flat, I believe, right front tire and would have to come down the road, and Landon Castle would get the race lead. And then on the next lap of the race, we have another incident for Daniel Hemrick, who basically lose a tire going into turn number 3. Some thought maybe there was contact with Noah Gragson. There was no basically penalties from that. It was contact from Sheldon Creed in the 2 car and brought out the next caution. So on the restart, you would have Landon Castle lead the field from the inside with Josh Berry on the outside. And Josh Berry got a great run and took the race lead from Landon Castle, not understanding why in the world Landon Castle basically tried to start on the inside. He should have ran the outside, but he lost the lead because of that. And then Josh Berry had Landon Castle charging. And then with 85 to go, another caution would come out for Derek Griffith, who spun on turn number 4, bringing out the caution. And then we see a little bit of strategy where Austin Hill, Alex Abay, Jeremy Clements, Anthony Alfredo, Josh Williams, and Mason Massey would all come down pit road while the rest leaders stayed out. So on the restart, Josh Berry lead the field from the outside with Landon Castle on the inside. And Josh Berry is able to clear Landon Castle for the lead for a lap. And then Landon Castle got around Josh Berry for the race lead. Then the next couple laps, we basically see another incident, and the next major incident happened in this race for contact between Sheldon Creed and Josh Berry. Sheldon Creed was basically on the inside and came up the racetrack on the apron and got into the Josh Berry spin amp and causing a multi-car wreck that included Sam Mayer, Ryan Sieg, who basically got airborne, Riley Hurts, Jeb Byrne, who ran into the back of Ryan Sieg, and Maya Center all got collected in the wreck as well. And also Howie DeCivino III also spun behind the wreck, bringing out the caution and a red flag. That was a mixture of both drivers. Yes, Josh Berry came down, but also Sheldon should have been a little bit less aggressive. We're still got 75 laps to go. I think it was just a multiple incident, and it is what it is on that. And then we see a little bit of strategy because of this when they got back after the red flag. Brandon Brown, Anthony Alfredo, Kyle Weatherman, Alex Abay among those guys who would stay out while the rest leaders would come down pit road. So on the restart, after a very long restart, because Josh Berry actually stopped on the track and kept it under caution for a long time because he basically blew an engine, we finally go back racing with 63 laps to go, with Brandon Brown leading the field from the inside, with Anthony Alfredo on the outside. Anthony Alfredo would get a horrendous restart, and we saw Brandon Brown actually get a great restart and pull away. Anthony Alfredo would unfortunately have a suddenly break on the car and would fall out of the race. And then eventually Sheldon Creed got to the race lead. And then with 58 laps to go in this race, another caution would come out for contact between AJ Allmendinger and Alex Abay. AJ was not clear. He went up the racetrack, got into Alex Abay. And then meanwhile, Brandon Jones basically tried to avoid the situation up high, and he got turned by Brett Moffitt, bringing out the caution in this race. There was a tempers flaring between Allmendinger and basically his spotter on the radio, and a lot of frustration. So on the restart, Sheldon Creed lead the field from the outside with Landon Castle on the outside, and Landon Castle got a great restart and got to the race lead. Then, a few laps later, Justin Allgaier got by Landon Castle and retook the race lead. And then, with around 40 laps to go, William Byron was actually catching the two leaders of Justin Allgaier and Landon Castle. Unfortunately, William Byron's day would come to an end after he started reporting a voltage issue and then an engine issue and fell out of this race. And as the run went on, we saw Landon Castle there after that. While that happened, Landon Castle was actually trying to catch Justin Allgaier for the lead. Unfortunately, he wouldn't get the chance to catch him because I believe the final caution of the race would come out with 26 or 27 laps to go for Akira Elgato, who dropped fluid, bringing out the yellow of this race, basically blew an engine, and brought out the caution. And then some guys came down pit road with a little bit of strategy. Brandon Brown, Jeremy Clements, Sam Mayer, Mason Massey, among those guys, while the rest of the leaders decided to stay out. So on the restart, you have Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside and Landon Castle on the inside. And Landon Castle got a great restart and took the lead. However, a few laps later, Justin Allgaier got around Landon Castle and started pulling away for the lead. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Brown, who was on fresh tires, he started catching the guys up front. However, Brandon Brown unfortunately got stuck behind a bunch of cars and never really got a chance to get up there. And the tires unfortunately wore off and did not have a chance to get up there to contend for the victory. And then it came down to a battle for second between Trevor Bayne and Landon Castle. And there was contact between them. And eventually Trevor Bayne got around Landon Castle for second. Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier pulls to about a 2 or 3 second lead. And coming off the corner, Justin Allgaier picks up his third victory of the 2022 season and puts up a really strong car and wins his third race of 2022. The first win for Junior Motorsports at this racetrack, and for the first win for Chevy at this track since 2007 when Kevin Harvick last won. Did Justin Allgaier have the best car? No, I think he probably had a third or fourth place car, especially after the contact, but he bounced back today. A great finish at the end of the day, and congratulations to Allgaier on getting his third win of the 2022 season. He becomes only the second driver so far this year to score 3 victories. Ty Gibbs, the only other driver who has more than 2 victories this year. So congratulations to Justin Allgaier. He's definitely starting to become a championship contender right now. I think he really could take the fight to Ty Gibbs in the end of the year. This is the best season we've seen out of Justin Allgaier since 2018. He's got a shot to get the championship done. Congratulations to Justin Allgaier on winning. So now, let's go through the results of this race and talk about the overall race. So, Justin Allgaier picks up the victory. Trevor Bayne finishes second. Trevor Bayne had probably a top 3 or top 4 car. I don't think he had the winning car in this race. I don't think his car was as good as Landon Castle's or Justin Allgaier's most of the day. But he got a really strong second place finish. It's a shame that he's not running full time because he's been really impressive. He's led last pretty much every single race he's been in outside of, I think, Nashville. He's been really good this year. I hope he goes full time next year because he's been great. Gets a really strong second place finish. Great run for him. Landon Castle finishes third. Landon Castle, in my opinion, is a driver of the day. Was top 5 all day. That 10 car was amazing. I don't know what happened near the end, but the car unfortunately kind of fell off in the last 50 laps of this race. It's a shame. The pit crew kind of cost him an opportunity to win, but he still gets an impressive third place finish. He really needed that run considering the playoff grid currently at the moment. Amazing day for Landon Castle in third. Noah Gragson finishes fourth. Noah Gragson was quiet most of the day, around 5th or 6th most of the day, but he does get a good top 5 finish. You love seeing Noah Gragson just needing to be quiet. Wasn't really over-aggressive in this race outside of the situation with Daniel Hemric. Gets a good top 5 finish in 4th. Brandon Brown finishes 5th. Brandon Brown got up there because of strategy, but Brandon Brown had a pretty good day today too. Guy nearly needs to get a lot of points made up. He did make up some ground on the cutoff today. Great run in 5th. He finishes in 5th today. Jeremy Clements also had some fresh tires. He gets up to 6th. Great 6th place finish at the end of the day. Solid top 10 for Jeremy Clements. Sheldon Creed finishes 7th. I think this is overall the best run that Sheldon Creed has had all year. He's had a really bad year, all things considered. So for him to run top 10 most of the day, he in fact led some laps today, which is the first time he's really led laps since the beginning of the year. So great run from Sheldon Creed. Good top 10 for him. Ty Dillon finishes 8th. We got some stuff. We're going to be talking about Ty Dillon in regards to him later this week, but gets a very solid top 10 finish. I did expect a little more from him, though, today. I thought the 48 car was going to be better. I think it just shows the driver is more important than the equipment because I think Ty Dillon should be running better than that, and it is what it is. But he does get a top 10 for the Big Machine Racing team. Austin Hill finished the 9th. Very solid top 10 run from Austin Hill. Ran top 10 most of the day. I think that's his 11th top 10 of the year, so they're racking up some top 10s and consistent top 10s, and after a good run at Atlanta, he finishes 9th. Kyle Weatherman finishes 10th. Can I talk about Kyle Weatherman for a minute? Why is this guy not full-time? This guy's literally running top 15 and top 20 in this 34 car. How in the world is this guy not full-time? I know there was a lot of wrecks to help him out, but he was running top 20 a lot of his day in the 34 car. This car is capable of running well if you put the right guy in it. He should be full-time in his car. I'm sorry. I love Jesse Woogie. I like the guy as a person, but dude, he should not be in that car. Kyle Weatherman, put him full-time in the car next year. Great top 10 for Kyle Weatherman. I like the dude a lot. He finishes in 10th. Mason Massey had a very solid top 15 finish. He finishes in 11th. Bailey Curry finished 12th. Good run from him. David Starr finishes in 13th. Really great run from him. Joe Graff Jr. finishes 14th. Ran top 30 most of the day. Finishes 14th. Good comeback from him. CJ McLaughlin, I believe this is his first top 15 finish of his NASCAR Xfinity Series career. Solid top 15 from him. Brett Moffitt finishes in 16th. Sam Mayer finishes in 17th. Got some damage early, which I think affected him. Patrick Emerling ran top 15 at points in today's race. He finishes in 18th. Howie DeSavino III finishes in 19th. Derek Griffith, after going multiple laps down after a spin and voltage issues, he finishes 20th. Ryan Vargas gets a decent top 25 finish. He finished 21st. AJ Allmendinger finishes 22nd. Ty Gibbs slightly bounces back to 23rd place finish after his engine issues. Matt Mills finishes 24th. JJ Lee finishes 25th. Josh Williams finishes 26th. 27 for Akin Uragata. 28 for William Byron. 29 for Alex Abay. 30th for Brandon Jones. 31st place for Anthony Alfredo. 32nd for Riley Herbst. 33rd for Josh Berry. 34th for Ryan Sieg. 35th for Jeb Burton. 36th for Maya Snyder. 37th for Daniel Hemric. And finishing last in 30th place in her NASCAR Xfinity Series debut is Julie Lander. So now I want to talk about overall thoughts on today's race and give you my score on today's race. Honestly, I think this is really probably going to be the race of the weekend for the racing because I'm not sure how good the Cup race is going to be tomorrow with the issue of the next gen at the flat tracks. This race, from start to finish, was incredible. I thought this race was amazing. A lot of side-by-side racing, a lot of aggression in the field. Yes, there was a lot of wrecks, but you also had a lot of great restarts, a lot of side-by-side. I know a lot of people wanted that resin compound to come back for this race, but I don't think you really need the resin compound for this track all the time. And I thought the Xfinity Series field did a great job. I am giving today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race overall a 9.8 out of 10. This race is almost perfect. I wanted a little more action, a little bit less chaos in the race for my liking, but I thought today's race was really, really solid. I'm giving today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race a 9.8 out of 10. I thought it was great, very solid, and a good race in my opinion. So anyway, that is it for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from New Hampshire. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, turn notifications, be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on pages while the list gets below over that, and comment your thoughts on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Justin Allgaier on picking up the victory at New Hampshire. Let me know in the comments below. I will have another race view up on the channel from the SRX race at my hometown track. The race will be happening here in a couple hours. I'm very excited for this race. This race means a lot to me. I wish I could be there tonight, but it is what it is. Congratulations to Justin Allgaier on picking up the victory. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this, like the SRX race. Take care, everybody.